Good afternoon. This is Dave again with Windy Ridge Outdoors. The other day I done a video on how I equip my boat when I troll for trout, and I talked to you about the trolling motor. So before we get into it, if you aren't a member of the channel, we would like for you to subscribe, and if you like the content, give it a thumbs up. If you have some friends, you may share, you let them know and see if they would want to subscribe or start watching some of the videos. Again, we're just getting started back up out of winter. I think Austin is going to try to have a video at least one a week. Normally releases them on Tuesday evening about 6 o'clock. And if he puts a second one on, it'll be released on a Thursday. But I mentioned to you about the trolling motors that I always carry a spare prop, and I carry a spare shear pin, and this is what they look like. I'm going to show you here, it won't be very long, but I'm going to take it apart and show you how to do it and the tools you need. What works really well is a offset box-in wrench, 1/2 inch one side, 9/16 on the other. Some of the nuts takes a 1/2 inch wrench, some it takes a 9/16. This here is an Enduro, Minn Kota Enduro 2. It's just a 30-pound thrust, but if you have an Enduro Max, which I have one that is a 50-pound thrust, and even on my bass boat I have a Edge, it's a 70-pound 24-volt. It still comes apart and uses the same, the prop's different on it, but it uses the same shear pin, and it comes apart the same way. And there probably is some line in this one, because I told you that's a problem too, that if you're trolling, sometimes when you fight a fish or you make a sharp turn, if you're not careful, the line can get caught at a prop, and it just takes a second and it wraps a lot of line in there. And it's pretty crucial that you tear it apart and get that line out of there, because it can damage the motor, makes it vibrate, and even if it's left in there too long, can wipe out a seal that's in there. When you do it, you want to make sure you take it off your boat and put it on the inside so you don't drop anything in the lake. So I'll tear it apart here and try to explain as I go. On the shaft, of course, it has the threaded lock nut that holds it on, but there is a straight screwdriver slot cut in the shaft. And what you need to do is hold that while you break the nut loose. And since it's a lock nut, it takes a wrench for a good ways till you get out past the nylon lock part on the nut. And then you can just normally take your fingers and take the nut the rest of the way off. And like I say, there's also a washer on there that comes off, and you can take it off with a prop. But that's why it's important, if you're doing it on the water, to do it inside the boat. Take the motor off the back of the boat and put it inside the boat so you don't drop any parts in the water. And then this, you can normally just wiggle it back and forth, and it comes off. And there again, the washer. And as you can see, there is some line in here, which I thought that there was on this one. So, and there's a little bit of grass. To remove the line, you can use a pocket knife and try not to scratch the shaft, but cut it, because you want to get all that line off of there. And it comes, once you get it started, it normally comes fairly easy. But this is what happens, and it does not take very long for a lot of line to get on there. And then this pin is wanting to come out, so you can take it out, and then the line slides off even easier if you remove the shear pin. And like I say, this is a shear pin. There's a hole there, and when you put it in, you want to try to get it about halfway And then in your prop, there's a slot that shear pin fits in. So you kind of light it up. And you can tell when you got it locked on there. And again, put the washer back on. And then the lock nut. Again, it takes a straight screwdriver to hold the shaft while you're retightening it. You just snug it down good and snug. And that is how you either remove the line if you have line in there, or that is how you remove if you break your prop, or that is how you remove it to change the shear pin if you happen to shear it off. You can get these at your local marine dealer, or you can get on Amazon. I bought a pack of 10 and it was relatively inexpensive off of Amazon. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Again, if you have subscribed to the channel, we encourage you to do so. If you like the content, give us a thumbs up. Again, God bless you. Hope to see you on the water.